how when men start dating, though, like, they can't wait to turn totally gay. Like, they're totally masculine with their guy friends. But when they go home with their girlfriends, say you guys were dating, like, 3 years, like, my boyfriend, total fag at home. I'm like, who's the mayor of Snuggletown? And he's like, I am. I'm the mayor of Snuggletown. I don't know. He does do that, though. I just went to I'm getting old. I just went to my 10-year high school reunion. Yeah, any of y'all been to these things? Anybody? Anybody else need closure? Am I the only one? Closure? Yeah. I had a fun nickname in high school. Whore. Yeah. And can I tell you something? I totally was, right? But I went back to see these bitches that tortured me. One in particular, Jenny Dowling. She was the reason I ate tater tots by myself in the bathroom at lunch. Like, sure do wish I had friends. Right, so I go back and I'm like, hey, have you guys seen Jenny Dowling? And they're like, oh my God. April, you didn't hear? Jenny died. No, but I wasn't laughing. I was like, oh my God. That's terrible. Do you know if she was fat when she died? Because that's why I'm here. Yeah. All my friends are married. Anybody here married? Nobody in LA is married. Too many options. Anybody married? Yeah, all men in LA are ridiculously afraid of commitment. Like, even the ugly ones. Even the ugly ones are afraid. Right? A few girls laugh. Guys are like, yes, we are. We have options. Not around settling down. I'm in a relationship. Anybody else in one of those that are awesome? No, nobody will admit to it, because if you're here with somebody, you're not going to be like, yeah, it's awful. I hate the person next to me. But I do, and I totally blame my parents, and people are like, you can't blame your parents. You can't blame your parents for your problems. I'm like, yeah, you can. My mom's titty fell out of her tube top at my 3rd grade parent-teacher conference. I'm sure that's contributed to my promiscuity in some way. Yeah, I don't know. I'm dating somebody, and it's funny, like, when you first start dating somebody, if you guys were to be dating, I don't know, liars in the corner, if you were to be dating, like, men always want to know when you first start dating, they have that question, the how many people have you been with question. Are you guys dating? I'd like to get to the bottom of this before I get off the stage. No? Total lie. That's awesome. What about you guys? No. Anybody dating in the front row that I can point to and make a spectacle of? Nobody? All right. Anyway, when you first start dating somebody, like men, they do want to know, and women all lie, and they totally lie, and it's you don't have to lie. I'm standing here on what looks like a soapbox, but it just perpetuates double standards. Like, when my fella asked me how many people I had been with, I was like, sweetie, I have been doling out blowjobs like fun-sized Snickers at Halloween since I was 15. I got no way of keeping track of all the trick-or-treaters. Yeah, and he's like, well, can you count them on your hands? I was like, yeah, if I were the Hindu goddess Shiva. It's a great, I have to agree that is a great joke. It's a very obscure reference, and I went through my list in my arsenal, and like Shiva, it's funny. It's funny. You guys came out. You know what? I'm like, there's a thing. I'm going to bring my sheet music next time and maybe do a little song. I don't know. I used to be like 40 pounds heavier. You guys can clap for that. I lost 40 pounds. Thank you. Lost 40 pounds, and I had no idea that I was fat. I had no idea, because somehow, like, when you're heavy, you're always the last person to be let in on the secret. Until one day, my boyfriend, he was like, you know, sweetie, you're getting a little chubby. I was like, what? And he's like, sweetie, we should be able to be honest with one another. Yeah. So we were in bed, and I was like, oh yeah, me with that barely adequate. know. As a chick, you never know what you're getting with penis size when you first go out with somebody, right? Boobs, they're there, they're on display. But with penises, always a surprise, right? It's kind of like rubbing off a scratcher ticket. First time I put my hands on my fella's pants, I'm fishing around, I'm like, holy there's gotta be more in here somewhere, right? And here's how you know it's a small penis. When you're going down on a guy and there's not enough room for the hand-mouth combo. And a pinky has to go up like you're having high tea with the queen. You're like, this is delicious. What is this, lemon zinger? You can take a look around. You can always tell little cockadoodle-doos in the audience, right? The guys with their arms folded like, this bitch. I didn't pay for this. Their girlfriends are trying to sit there all quiet and polite. I feel I got you with that one. That's exciting. I don't know. People are always a little taken aback when women talk about sex. They're like, wait a minute, it's fine for the fellas, but she's got boobs. That's not allowed. And you know, actually, women were far more progressive. Like, we lie about everything. Women in 2006 lie about orgasms. How ridiculous is this? Nothing. It's ridiculous. That's how ridiculous it is. Like, do you know, turn of the century, women would actually go to the doctor complaining of, far more progressive. Women would go to the doctor complaining of hysteria, and doctors, true fact, would manually stimulate them to climax. Yeah. How awesome is that? Can you imagine? I would totally be going to my therapist like every day, like, Dr. Reynolds, I was feeling a little blue this morning. Would you like me to write you a prescription for Prozac? I'm like, no, Doc, I was kind of hoping you'd fiddle my bean a little. Why don't you just turn that grain of sand into a pearl? Men, they don't have to lie. Men will tell you. Like, women don't tell you that they masturbate. This is something else we lie about, which is totally crazy. Men will be like at a game with their guy friends, and they'll be like, yeah, I'm going home. Like, where you going, Mike? I'm gonna go home, rub one out. No problems. You'll never hear a girl say that, ever. But I will tell you that I actually drowned in my own bathtub this morning, masturbating. Yeah. Seems like every time I go in for a little shampoo and a shave, my cooch seems to work its way right under the faucet. Problem is I live in an apartment with a really small bathtub, so my ass is like parked over the drain and it like fills up over my head. And I'm just struggling to like keep afloat. Anybody else do this? If you don't do this, you have a removable shower head. But if you don't have a removable shower head, this is what you do as a girl. I'm like, I'm taking a bath. This is what I'm doing. And it's filling up, and I figured out I know where my priorities are when getting off becomes more important than breathing. Yeah. Invested in floaties and a snorkel to get the job done just a little bit better. I'm April Macie. Thanks, guys.